Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. So I just wanted to talk about kids and dogs today, specifically, Dobermans and dog and children. So, as you all know, obviously, you know Leela. So she's my Doberman. She will be 4 in August, and here she is. She's just running with my daughter Zoe, who turned 3 in January. So you can see that the dynamic is really good. Basically, I wanted to talk about that dynamic, how we've sort of managed that relationship and where we are today, so that you can, see how, Leela does interact with my daughter, and that it is, possible to have, a Doberman and a child or children. So basically, you can see we're just playing fetch. Leela is playing fetch, and Zoe is running, trying to get some of her energy out too. Obviously, not as fast, but thinks that she can make it. So I want to talk about the first thing. So when we purchased Leela from the breeder actually did a temperament test on Leela. So we told the breeder that, well, actually, I was pregnant at the time. So the breeder knew that we were going to have a baby. So she actually did temperament tests on all the puppies. And the temperament test is what actually made us choose Leela. So part of the temperament test is they see how sensitive the dog is to pain. So I know that sounds like, oh my God, but it's not. So basically what the breeder does is she just pinches the toes of all the puppies, and she sees what the puppy's response is. So she told us that Leela had no response. So basically she said that, Leela is not, sensitive or, overly sensitive to, physical things like that. And the reason that this was important is because, when you have kids, they sometimes, might, pull the dog's ear or pull the dog's tail and do things that they're not supposed to do, but they might. And you want to make sure that you have a dog that's obviously tolerant of that. You want to teach your kids, to always treat your dog with respect and, be gentle. But you also want to make sure that, your dog is tolerant and stable, with the child and can tolerate things to a certain degree. So basically, the breeder said that, Leela was very unconcerned or affected when she pinched her toe. And based on this, she will most likely be good with children, growing up with children, because she's not, she won't be concerned about their, silliness that they can do. So to be honest, that's the main reason we chose Leela out of the litter. She was obviously, friendly and like all the other puppies, but this temperament test is what the breeder had said would make her, a better fit for our family versus, her siblings, where some of them were more sensitive to that toe pinch. So I want to start off with that and just kind of explain to you guys how we chose Leela, and why we chose her, and some of the things that you should look for if you know you're going to have a Doberman or any dog really with young children. You hear so many times of dogs, attacking children and going after children. You have to realize, like, it's a lot for a dog to be able to tolerate small children. You do need to have, a very stable and tolerant personality, which is genetic. You can't teach a dog to just be okay with this kind of thing. It really does come down to their genetics, which is something you can't change. So it's important to pick the right puppy to begin with, to make sure that at least you're giving yourself, the best chances of a healthy relationship between your children and your dog. So yeah, so just want to start there. The other thing I wanted to touch on is, the boundaries. You want to make sure that, your dog understands the boundaries and your children understand boundaries. If you have, a baby, obviously they're not walking yet, not crawling. That's different. You put them in a crib or wherever you put them, they're not going to move. They're not going to bother the dog. But once they start crawling and walking and running, now you have to teach your child boundaries. You want your child to understand that they can't just go up to the dog, and pull on their ears or pull on their tail, or they have to be respectful, when your dog is eating, or sleeping. You don't want your child to just jump on your dog when you're sleeping. It might startle them. So the child has to understand, the boundaries. And so that's really important to teach your child. And it works both ways too. You want to make sure that your dog understands the boundaries, um, so that they're aware of the child's space. You can teach a place command, if you have your child out playing, and you don't want the child, to be bothered by the dog, you can put your dog on place so that the dog learns to be calm around, your child or the children playing and doesn't bother them. So I just wanted to show also, so in this clip, Zoe is playing with Leela. Basically, Leela is staying on place, and Zoe is running, hiding the toy, and then releasing Leela to go get the toy. You'll see that, Zoe takes the toy from Leela's mouth. She tells her to drop it, and it's not a problem. Keep in mind also the big reason that, this is okay is because Leela does not have any type of resource guarding. See, like you can see, like Zoe is up in Leela's face, but Leela doesn't have any resource guarding. So you want to make sure that you know the dog that you have. And what kind of tolerance level you have, and what their personality is. So, I mean, Leela's 4 years old. She has never ever had resource guarding, shown any aggression to any of us in the family. So I trust Leela. I'm not worried about Zoe being that close to Leela. Especially with Leela having a toy. If Leela had a bone, she just doesn't have that resource guarding. It's not in her. She's never displayed that trait. So that's why this is okay. If you have a dog who resource guards, it's a different story. You can't have your child, putting its hands, when the dog has a toy or a bone or food. But in our case, Leela doesn't resource guard, so this is okay. So you have to make sure that, you know the dog you have. You teach boundaries on each end, but at the same time, what are your dog's limitations? Some dogs are more prone to resource guarding than others. It is typically more of a genetic disposition, whether they're going to resource guard or not. There are some things that, you do as the dog is growing from a puppy to an adult to try and prevent resource guarding. But sometimes, for the most part, you can do everything right, and it is just, you know, they're just more genetically dispositioned to it. So we're lucky that Leela doesn't have any resource guarding. She doesn't display it with us, with dogs at all. And she's never ever shown any aggression to Zoe. So that's why, we are so comfortable with this kind of relationship. The worst Leela's done is knocked Zoe down, when she was younger, just by accident when she was running. But as Leela has gotten older, I've noticed she's much more aware of Zoe and respects her space and is more aware of her body in general. So like even we were playing Chuck It, you could see that like Zoe was like right behind Leela, and Leela deked, to not knock down Zoe in order to get her ball. So Leela's very aware, much more aware of her body, and not to knock her down. So yeah, I just wanted to share those things, guys, so that you can see that, you can have harmony between your child and your Doberman. This applies to not just Dobermans, but, any dog, to be honest. You can have a golden retriever who resource guards and doesn't like kids, or you can have, a friendly golden retriever. Same with Dobermans, we're lucky that, Leela's personality is very family oriented. She's very loyal, and she understands, her hierarchy. And, to be honest, even if, we just raised her with, I don't know if she would ever have resource guarding. I don't think so, because, like I said, it's just in her predisposition. So yeah, she's just really good with Zoe. And, we tell Zoe to be gentle with Leela. We tell Leela to chill if she's too rambunctious around Zoe. And so now they have this harmony. And as Zoe is getting older, I see that bond building. Zoe can communicate with Leela better now. And she's, they're more in tune with each other. So I'm just gonna let you guys watch this clip of them playing a little bit more together.
Okay.
No, say it
again.
again.
Say it again.
Okay.
Say it again. Faster.
Okay. Okay.
She's looking at me. We'll say it together, okay?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Okay. She can't find it. She can't find it. Leela, look at Zoe.
Do you see it?
Oh, she found it.
Hooray, my darling! Do you like more than this?
One.
Okay. Okay, Papi. You can go. Ready, set, go!
Say the O word.
Oh,
Okay, guys, so I hope you found this video helpful and interesting and enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have an awesome day. Bye, guys.